Also thought it would be a good idea to hydrate before starting this video, and then water all down the front of me. So welcome to the circus, always. Tonight we are having appetizer night, which you guys know is absolutely one of my favorite nights. I love having different things that we can choose from. Today's video is kindly sponsored by Catalina Crunch. I have a discount code for my viewers in the description box, so make sure you check that out. The first thing that we need to do is get started on the meatballs. Now, I am gonna be making my meatballs from scratch, but please feel free to just buy pre-made meatballs. That is completely okay. But what I'm gonna do is make a whole batch of meatballs, and then I'm gonna have leftovers, or somebody told me the other day, don't call them leftovers, they said planned overs, which sounds better, totally agree. I'm gonna have planned overs for lunches. I'm telling you, if you hear random noises, the dishwasher had to be run. Normally I will try and wait until after I film, but it was one of those scenarios it absolutely had to be done. And the dishwasher is right here. So I apologize if you hear random noises, that's what it is. Also, my dog desperately wants to be outside playing, but some of the neighborhood kids are afraid of dogs. So I keep her in when she's over, so she's acting like a maniac. She has a bell that she rings when she wants to go outside, and she is ringing the bell nonstop. We are going to make turkey meatballs, and part of the reason is that I forgot to take out 2 packages of ground beef, but I had thawed turkey that I actually bought in my grocery order today. So we're gonna make turkey meatballs. I think it's gonna be delicious. You could use ground turkey, ground chicken. This is 1 pound. I actually was thinking I was gonna make less, but I'm gonna go ahead and make the full pound, like I said, and we'll have planned overs. Now, whenever I make meatballs, you guys know I usually make them from scratch, and it's not a specific recipe that I stick to. There's not a specific amount, but I will do my best to kind of tell you and walk you through that. So we're gonna add probably around a ½ cup of breadcrumbs. And when I make this with chicken or turkey, whenever I make meatballs, it's more of a wet consistency. So I do add, sometimes I will end up going back in and adding a little bit more breadcrumbs. So we'll see how that goes. I am gonna add 1 egg. Instead of salt, I'm gonna add this Kevin's all-purpose seasoning. We have been loving this seasoning lately. It's so good. So I'm probably gonna add maybe a ½ teaspoon or so just to give it some flavor. And then I love adding Italian seasoning to meatballs. And I just restocked my Italian seasoning today. I had been out. All right, so we've got that. Now let's just mix this together. Feel free to use your hands if you would like. Jewelry's coming off. Don't let me forget, I have my ring right there. Like I said, tonight we're having an appetizer night, which means I'm making a bunch of different things. I'm not gonna make full recipes of all of this because there's 4 of us. Typically these appetizers will feed like 10 to 12 people or so, and I'm just not interested in having all of that at my table and then having leftovers for days and days. So we're gonna be cutting some of these recipes down. Y'all, it is hilarious to me, some of the people in the comments on my Jiffy Mix video. I had some people commenting because I used ½ of a box of Jiffy Mix, saying like, it's just a small box, why would you do that? Y'all, you do whatever you wanna do. Absolutely adjust recipes to fit your family's needs. Toss in ingredients that you love, leave out ingredients that you don't. That is the beauty of being in the kitchen. I cannot say it enough. I'm telling you, just adjust recipes to whatever your family needs and loves. I'm going to foil line this baking sheet. I'm using foil because we're out of parchment paper. All right, let's give this pan, what did I do? Okay, folded all that up. Let's give this pan a spray. Typically when I make meatballs, I will use my 1½ tablespoon scoop, just scoop them up and then roll them kind of into a ball. They're kind of already in that shape. But this is probably one of my most used kitchen utensils actually, just because we use it for so many different things. So love this one. But I feel like it does make the perfect size meatball. As I'm doing this, absolutely feel like you can use pre-made meatballs. You can buy a bag of frozen meatballs at your local grocery store, and you don't even have to thaw them, and you can make the whole rest of this recipe, okay? I'm just choosing to make mine. I love the flavors that I use in mine. My family loves them. I've been making them for forever and ever. I actually used to make these in huge batches and freeze them, and then the kids could just pull them out and make them for lunches, which I should probably do again because I do feel like we scramble a lot for lunches lately. And I forgot to preheat my oven. So we're gonna have to do that now. I'm gonna cook these on 400 for probably 20 minutes or so. I usually just watch them. I'm gonna go ahead and mix together all of the ingredients that we need for the meatballs. So it's kind of a sauce that's going on the meatballs. So we are gonna do a mixture of a couple of different hot sauces. Feel free to just use like a Frank's hot sauce or something like that if that's what you want. We need about a half cup of hot sauce. So I'm gonna use a mixture of Cholula, because this one is almost out. We do have another one, so I'll save the other one for my husband. And then I'm gonna add in some of this truff hot sauce. Now we love this truff hot sauce, but I wanna say I do think that if you used all truff for this recipe, it might be a little much in the flavors, just because the other flavors that we're adding to this are gonna be really intense. So you're gonna have a blue cheese crumble and ranch and stuff like that. So I feel like that would be a bit too much. All right, let's add in some ranch seasoning. I did make my own, but you would just wanna add in like a packet or whatever. So you need a tablespoon of ranch seasoning. And we're gonna add a couple tablespoons of butter. This will simmer over on the stovetop, and once everything is mixed together and simmered nicely, we're gonna toss the meatballs that we made in this mixture. My sauce is cooked through. All I did was heat it. Now we're gonna add some of these meatballs in and toss them in that sauce. I actually think I'm gonna end up adding all of the meatballs in, because I think we have enough sauce, which is awesome. I'm just gonna let this sit over here on the stovetop until we're ready, just so that they don't get too cold or anything. The heat is on very low, and then right before we're ready to serve, we'll add what we need to the top. Making sure that I get all that sauce, because that is the liquid gold. I just made up a little mixture of sour cream, a little bit of milk, and some of that ranch powder. We're just gonna drizzle on the top like this. You can make it a lot prettier than this, I'm sure. But yes, please. Take some blue cheese and just crumble over the top. Obviously, you could buy one that is already crumbled, and that's gonna make this even faster and easier. And then only really for the purpose of color. Like, are you guys excited about this one? Because I feel excited about this one. Oh my goodness. This is going in a best of. I'm not even kidding. I wish I had made triple the amount. This is so good. In my opinion, it's not too spicy. It's a little bit spicy. You do get a little bit of heat, but the mixture of flavors is phenomenal in this one. Like, I'm trying to think now, what else can I do with these seasonings? Is very good. Another big thank you to Catalina Crunch for sponsoring today's video. Catalina Crunch offers a variety of products, but when we're talking about snacks and appetizers, which you guys know that I love, the snack mix is perfect. There are 4 savory flavors, and you guys know I am definitely a savory girl. Although I like sweets, savory gets me every single time. You can get the cheddar, the traditional, the spicy, or the creamy ranch. Honestly, the creamy ranch is absolutely my favorite. It is so delicious. It's like that traditional mix, but you get that hint of ranch in there, which is definitely the best in my opinion. Very, very good. If you guys don't know this, I've actually been tracking my macros and calories for about 10 years now. So that's something we've been doing for quite a long time. And so I'm always interested in unique and creative ways to get extra protein added into my diet each day. So these are gonna give you that snack that you've been craving, but with more protein than other traditional snacks offer. They're also made with non-GMO plant proteins and fibers. So this quick snack is gonna keep you feeling full longer. As you guys know, I'm a mom of 2 kids, so I definitely feel like we are constantly on the go, constantly running around to baseball practice or theater or piano practice or whatever it is. So these are really easy to take with us so that when we're out and somebody gets hungry, we have a really great snack option that satisfies those cravings that you get when you're out and about and maybe you want to stop and get a snack. Click below in the description box and use my link with the code BYRDS. You're gonna get 15% off your order plus free shipping on any Catalina Crunch mix pack, and you get an even bigger discount on top of that if you subscribe. You can actually get a variety pack of all 4 of these flavors, which is gonna give you a selection of their best-selling products. Or if you already know which flavor you love the most, then you can just pick up a 4-pack of that one and you're gonna be good to go. This is another Catalina Crunch snack that we got. It is their little cookies. So I love filling our cookie jar with something like that because then when the kids want a little snack, they can just go in here and grab one of these. They can have a little treat here and there. I have a pound of ground beef here. I'm gonna be using this for 2 different recipes. Feel free to use a whole pound just depending on how much you're making. We're gonna take this over to the stovetop and we're gonna brown it up and then it's gonna get used 2 different ones. Did I say what these are? These are loaded cheeseburger cups. My beef is currently browning over on the stovetop. I'm gonna get started on this part of the recipe. I keep losing scissors, so we'll have to use a knife. We've got some tater tots here, and I have done a very similar recipe to this in a mini muffin tin, but we're actually gonna do this in a large muffin tin. So I'm gonna start by putting about 4 to 5 even tater tots into each one of the little muffin cups. Let's do 5. My oven is currently preheating to 425 degrees. And what I've found with this recipe is that if you pre-cook your tater tots at least a little bit, they're easier to make that form out of. So you'll see what I mean in just a minute. If you haven't seen that other video and what I'm talking about, we're gonna make like a cup form almost. So you'll get it. Just hang with me. These are gonna go into the oven for just about 10 minutes or so. We don't need them to completely cook. We just need them to soften up a bit so that we can make the muffin, so that we can make the cup form. So like I said before, we browned up all of the beef, but I'm only gonna be using half of it for this recipe. Half of it is gonna be for the other recipe. So I'm just gonna transfer half of it to a plate so that we can reserve it, transfer it to a bowl, whatever you wanna use, it's totally fine. Now, this is it's gonna sound a little odd, but just bear with me. We are going to add to this mixture a little bit of mayonnaise, about a ½ tablespoon. That's not mayonnaise, that's mustard. But we are gonna add a little bit of mayonnaise, about a ½ tablespoon. And we're gonna add a little bit of ketchup, which I don't like, you guys know, but it's mixed in, so I'm gonna be okay with it. And we're gonna stir all of this together. Oh, also, I used a really lean ground beef. Feel free to use whatever you normally use. You would just pull off, if there's a lot of grease left in there, you could pull that out. I'm gonna add in about a 1/4 cup of cheddar cheese and just let that melt in and mix. Combining all of that, and then we can set this to the side and wait on those tater tots to be done. So now that you have these a little bit, I mean, they're definitely thawed out because they've been in the oven, take something like a shot glass and you're gonna press down, creating a cup form, okay? Just like this. Now, if you use mini muffin tins, which is what I did in the last video, the tablespoon measurer was perfect. It made the perfect little cup shape. I'm gonna take the cheeseburger mixture and just add, let's use a spoon. I'm gonna add some to the center of each one of these. I knew when I made those other cups, there was gonna be more like this, guaranteed. Oh, you know what I just realized? I didn't make 2 per person. I'm gonna have to make more. Hang on, we have to make more because if we don't have 2 per person, it's gonna be an argument at the table. All right, you know what I did? I heated, oh, they're falling apart. I heated them up in the microwave. They might not be quite as good, but I think we'll be all right because, I mean, we have to solve that problem. Can't have it like that. Okay, this works anyway because I was about to have too much leftover meat, and we're not gonna waste ground beef. All right, let's add this in. This should be right at the perfect amount. And then I'll add a little bit more to each one if I need to. I am gonna add just a little bit of cheese to the top of each one, just a little bit. There's already cheese in the mixture, but I mean, you gotta have a little bit on the top, right? All right, these are gonna go into my 425-degree oven for about 15 minutes. When we take them out, we have a special sauce that's gonna go on the top. We need to mix up our special sauce. I'm gonna add about a couple tablespoons of mayo, running low. About a half tablespoon of yellow mustard. Technically, we need white wine vinegar, but I'm just gonna add a touch of white vinegar, just a touch. And we need to add some onion powder and garlic powder. You definitely wanna add some paprika. On top of the taste, it's gonna add a beautiful color. All of this is just about a half teaspoon or so, and then I'm gonna mix all of this together using a spoon. All right, I actually think it needs a touch more vinegar. And we just mix till we get it right. I wanna chop up a couple things for the toppings. I'm gonna chop up one of these little baby pickles, and this is gonna be part of our garnish. I also have some small tomatoes that we can chop up as well. So we're just gonna make like little baby pickle slices to go on the top. Just a couple of tomatoes, but I'm gonna make sure they're very finely chopped, okay? Let's take these hash brown cheeseburger cups and transfer them to a serving dish. We need to take that special sauce that we made, and we're going to just drizzle a little bit on each one. We're gonna take just a little bit of tomato, just like you would on a burger. Just a little bit. And some of that sliced pickle. Now, obviously, if you don't like pickle, you can leave this off, but I feel like it's just gonna take it over the top. It's another winner. I mean, so good. It tastes like a cheeseburger. It's really, really good. I highly suggest making this one. It is very, very good. Great flavors. I love the sauce and what that adds there, but the flavor of the beef alone is very good. I'm a huge fan of tater tots. Like, let me just admit it, okay? I love tater tots and I love French fries. It's my weakness. Potato chips too. Potatoes, let's just say potatoes. But these are very, very good. We are going to make these mini taco cups. I cannot wait. They sound so delicious and right up my alley. We are using half of the ground beef that I used in the previous recipe. All that I did was season it with salt. We have our ½ pound of ground beef here. Obviously, you can mix your own chili seasoning in here, but we just like to add our own favorite taco seasoning spices. So I've got a little bit of chili powder, toss that in. We're gonna add a little bit of cumin. One of my favorites, if not my favorite. Gotta have paprika because it's oh so good. And then we're just gonna toss in a little bit of onion powder and a little bit of garlic powder. So feel free to use a taco packet, right? You don't have to use what I'm using. This is just easy. I mean, I have all of these ingredients always on hand, so it's an easy way to go about it. All right, so we've got that here. I'm gonna add in some petite diced tomatoes. I'm using petite because it's smaller pieces. I don't want huge chunks of tomato in here. I did drain it, and we are gonna add just maybe like 1/4 of the can. Gosh, these are bigger than normal petite diced. I mean, I wanted like petite, like small diced, but that's okay. Let me see if I can break them up a bit. Yeah, that's better. We are combining all of this. So good. Cannot wait to eat this one. Y'all, I'm so hungry. All right, my beef is done. Now we're gonna take these wonton wraps. Also, this is not the first time that I've used them here on my channel, and I got a lot of questions last time about where I found these in the grocery store. And let me tell you, it was in the produce section, which is a little bit odd, but that's where I found them. So I've already sprayed my mini muffin tin, and we're going to take these wonton wrappers, which sometimes they stick together and it's a little bit difficult to get them. We're going to take them and just press into the mini muffin form. Okay, I wanna make sure that I leave a nice space for the filling to go in. And I actually don't know exactly how many we're gonna make yet. We'll just kind of see what happens. The last time I made something with these, I was asking for help with what to make next, and I ended up making crab rangoon in the air fryer. And y'all, it's on my Instagram. If you don't follow me over there, I'm pretty sure I put it on Instagram. It was so good. These are a great thing to have. I'll put them in a little baggie and then put them in the fridge. Now they don't last a whole long time in the fridge, so you gotta be careful. You gotta make something pretty quick with them. We've got our taco meat here that we made over on the stovetop. I took my tablespoon measurer because that's gonna be just about the amount that we want. And we're gonna put a tablespoon into each one of these. Yes, this is the perfect amount. Maybe 2 or 3 more. I could maybe get 1 more, but instead of risking it, we'll just add a little bit more to a few of these. We are gonna add a little bit of cheese to the top of each one. I've got this nacho taco cheese, which, you know, that works out perfectly. So let's just add a little pinch. Little bit of cheese on the top of each one. These are gonna go in my 425, we're gonna use 425 because the other one's going at the same time, degree oven for 10 to 15 minutes. The taco cups just came out of the oven. I think you're supposed to wait a couple minutes before you transfer them, but we're gonna go ahead and do it. For these, we're just gonna add a little dollop of sour cream to the top of each one. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of green onion. Okay, these look so delicious. I'm gonna try this extra one. Ooh, it looks hot. This is probably a terrible idea. I just tried that without the sour cream. I can only imagine how good these are with the sour cream. It's so good. Your guests or your family are going to love these. The flavors pop. You get that little bit of crunch from that wonton wrapper. It is so good. Our verse today comes from 2 Thessalonians 3:3. But the Lord is faithful. He will establish you and guard you against the evil one. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more just like this, make sure you check out the video above and you're going to get a lot more inspiration there. Also, don't forget to check out my description box where I have a link to Catalina Crunch and a discount code so that you guys can save 15% on your order and get free shipping. I hope you have a great week.